calypso, polyrhythm, syncopation is my weapon of choice.
Yo, this is Vibes International, you know. I'm telling you, I endorse that program. You know. Meet the artists, the real program. Trust me.
Yo, this is Brother B and this is Meet the Artist. We keep it real, we tell you how we feel. That's the deal. Meet the Artist, Brother B right here.
There, yo, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martin, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean and the whole world. This is Boogie B, aka Boogie Bling, Bling Dan. Medea, bigging up, Meet the Artist.
The South Grenada Regatta 2011. This is Friday, Saturday and Sunday at Le Phare Bleu, Petit Calvini Bay. Don't miss it, we have a lot of stuff going on. Of course the races, the last race on Sunday even will finish in the bay. So if you want to get it very, very close, come on Sunday and watch the final around lunchtime. But Saturday and Sunday, come and have a drive on the speedboat, going also close to the race and watch what's happening. For the kids, the Pirates Trail. Also you can have a trial on a hobby cat with everything is safe, we look after you. And you get great food, great drinks, and of course the prize giving parties. Saturday evening, Sunday evening. Saturday evening with the rocking pontoons, Sunday evening with front page. And Saturday evening it's with Kay, which is right here.
Hi everybody, please come down. It's going to be fun with the rocking pontoons. We're going to have lots and lots and lots of fun. Come down, be here for the South Regatta.
Tired of looking like everyone else? Then come shop at Elite Styles. We offer the best styles, best prices, best customer service and quality around town. Whether you're petite or plus, we have your style. Come experience the styles at Elite Styles.
Jumped in the car, headed for the bar. Sign said Hanky's computer store.
We foot Punjabi, not singer trying to sing me. You better get some voice training and learn to hold a note.
I hold notes all the time. Whenever I pay bills, go shopping for the wife and family.
Bridget, I'm talking about holding a musical note.
Ah, that's a brilliant idea, Westerman. Then you can use that new computer you bought at Hanky's computer store to record my hit track.
Man, you're mad hour. You want my new computer crash? Go by Hanky's computer store and buy your own computer. And you know where to find them already because your name is Fast Pre.
Okay, I'm going to Hanky's computer store. By the way, Rasta, do you have shares in Hanky's computer store?
You're going back minding my business again?
Hanky's Computer Store, the ultimate computer store.
My name is Michael Boosman and I'm from Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago. First of 6 children in the Boosman family. Oliver and Marjorie Boosman, my parents. I've been involved in music for the past 47, 48 years. Started at a very young age at 12, 13, and I had a very long and interesting musical career. Started at such an early age. I had a band called Rockefellers that lasted several years. During that period, we were able to develop a very, very big fan base. We were one of the top bands in Trinidad and Tobago at the time. Soon after that period, we changed our name because we went through several band names and changes, musicians and so on. As you know, the music industry, people don't stay together all the time. During that period, after that period, I formed a group called the Family Tree. That time we introduced the pan as one of our instruments in the band, being one of the first bands that integrated with the pan, steel pan. And that was over 50 years. I won't say, I said 47, but we just celebrated our I can't remember how many years anniversary, but independence. But we won the 10th independence anniversary in Trinidad, a very prestigious competition for bands of our nature. And we won that competition featuring the pan, and we played the theme song was Pan Talent by the Mighty Terror, and a composition of our own. From there we lasted a few years. During the revolution in Trinidad, the Black Power Revolution in the 70s, the band folded up because there was lack of opportunities in terms of gigs, and we more or less formed a sort of fraternity with a lot of musicians, and we developed a sort of workshop, and out of that workshop a lot of things developed, including soca music, because the soca music actually, one of my friends who was part of the workshop, Michael Boosman, a drummer who toured with Harry Belafonte, had returned to Trinidad, and around that same period in time, I did some traveling, and I also experienced the same experience of trying to take our music outside of Trinidad into the mainland, and came about little objects that were preventing the general participation and people dancing and relating to the music. One was the rhythm was a bit too poly. We wouldn't say polyrhythm. Our calypso rhythm has a lot of things going on at the same time. The conga drums playing, the timbales, the iron, the cymbals, the bass drum. Everything has it's very busy. So what Tobas came up with was a rhythm that came out of the duduk, which is the two-note bass drum on the drum set, on the pan, actually. That was more or less like the bass of a steel band in the early days. The two-note, you hear tu-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu. And he simplified the rhythm, and we formulated a rhythm which today is called a soca. But the music itself was named by Rashoti. He coined the name soca. We were studio musicians, and we were always trying to get the opportunity to integrate the rhythm with other Calypsonians who would allow us the creative privilege to utilize it. What's his name? Maestro, the late Maestro, was the first one who encouraged us. As a matter of fact, when we were doing tracks in the studio, we would go into that rhythm first to see if it will bite, if anybody will catch it. And majority of Calypsonians, like the Kitcheners and so on, would say no, they want no part of that. They wanted the original hi-hat and bass drum type of calypso. But Maestro allowed us, because he was one of the younger generation entertainers coming out in that period. He allowed us, Shorty and one or two others, who allowed it to pass. I can remember when I was doing Maestro's album, because I produced Maestro album Fiery. Um, when I was mixing the song in the studio, the late Kitchener came in, because in those days they had a lineup of musicians trying to get in, and we had back-to-back sessions. And I would be playing on somebody else's music. I'll be producing somebody else's back-to-back, so it was like the next one was Kitchener, and he was outside just waiting to get in the studio. And he came inside and he listened to the track and he said, he stammers, what is that? That is not calypso. That is not calypso, right? That is something else. That was his reaction to it. At the first instant he heard it. But the following year, seeing the success of it, Sugar Boom Bop came out. So, all of these things here now, everybody try to claim the thing, but really and truly, Maestro was ahead of the game in terms of them. And he also wrote a lot of songs for different people, including Shorty, in that period.
Jumped in the car, headed for the bar. Sign said Hanky's computer store.
We foot Punjabi, not singing trying to sing the. You better get some voice training and learn to hold a note.
I hold notes all the time. Whenever I pay bills, go shopping for the wife and family.
Bridget, I'm talking about holding a musical note.
Ah, that's a brilliant idea, Westerman. Then you can use that new computer you bought at Hanky's computer store to record my hit track.
Man, you're mad, or? You want my new computer crash? Go by Hanky's computer store and buy your own computer. And you know where to find them already because your name is Fast Pre.
Okay, I'm going to Hanky's computer store. By the way, Rasta, do you have shares in Hanky's computer store?
You're going back minding my business again?
Hanky's Computer Store, the ultimate computer store.
South Breda Regatta 2011. This is Friday, Saturday and Sunday at Le Phare Bleu, Petit Calvini Bay. Don't miss it, we have a lot of stuff going on. Of course the races, the last race on Sunday even will finish in the bay. So if you want to get it very, very close, come on Sunday and watch the final around lunchtime. But Saturday and Sunday, come and have a drive on the speedboat, going also close to the race and watch what's happening. For the kids, the Pirates Trail. Also you can have a trial on a hobby cat with everything is safe. We look after you. And you get great food, great drinks, and of course the prize giving parties. Saturday evening, Sunday evening. Saturday evening with the Rocking Pontoons, Sunday evening with Front Page. And Saturday evening it's with Kay, which is right here.
Hi everybody, please come down. It's going to be fun with the Rocking Pontoons. We're going to have lots and lots and lots of fun. Come down, be here for the South Regatta.
Yeah!
Come on, it's a good party.
Tired of looking like everyone else? Then come shop at Elite Styles. We offer the best styles, best prices, best customer service and quality around town. Whether you're petite or plus, we have your style. Come experience the styles at Elite Styles.
I did some musical direction. I did for Derek Walcott. I came in as a sideband musician playing with Derek, who had called to go out to Mount, something like that, Foreigner, and Andrew Tanker being the people that I met there who was in charge of the music. But in this particular tour, he asked me to direct the music for the theater company, and we traveled to St. Thomas. I met with a very, very prominent professor, music professor there, that heard me perform with the theater workshop and was very impressed. Yeah, after the performance, he sought me out and he started questioning me about the music theory, you know, about where he said, you know, I always heard music come out of the Caribbean, and it's always a simplified 3 chords, 4 chords thing. And here you very modal. And when he said modal, I was, what you say? I didn't even understand what he was talking about because the lack of theory. And he was amazed that I was doing stuff and playing stuff that I could not have explained in a theory format. And he said, you know, you got something going there. And he took me out to jam with some musicians that same night, some older musicians, and they were playing jazz standards and so on. And I plugged in my guitar and started playing with them like if we rehearsed. And he was so amazed and surprised that I was able to find something to play inside of the music that he said, you know what, the theater group can go back, but I would like you to spend another 2 weeks here with me, you know. And I stayed back because I'm always interested in music so much, and then again I think with an inhibition, not being able to read music and understand the music. I started my first instrument with the piano actually, and I read music up to grade 3 or something like that. But when I picked up the guitar, I was just purely working for my ear and transposing what I learned on piano over to the guitar. And he said to me, you know, you're a gifted musician, you know, you have such a good ear. He said they have musicians that if you put a score in front of them and a fly land in it, they'll be able to play it off. But if you pull the sheet from in front of them, they are lost. They don't know what to play and how to play. You say, but you are able to hear and play, which is an art in itself. And that gave me a lot of confidence actually, because after that I felt a certain amount of confidence that I know what I was doing from my ears. And he said what you need to do is on your own time is to pick up a theory book and try to teach yourself. He said, but there's no university or school like the University of the Road, which is performing and getting experience from playing with different situations. Because even though you go to a university of music, you still have to come back outside and do your internship, which is on the road, trying to play with this one and trying to find ways of imparting your knowledge and developing a playing skill within different parameters. So I recognized that, and he suggested to me, what you would like to do in your musical career for the future, and if I wanted to be a dance band musician playing pop music and so on. But he said you will have a very short shelf life, because when you get in your 40s and then the younger people growing up would just look at you as a has-been, that guy too old, you used to play good long ago and stuff like that. Or if you're going to be a jazz musician, you will have a longer shelf life, meaning that there are guys like Duke Ellington who die in the 80s and 90s, and they were playing up to their death. And I decided that I would like to play and entertain people for as long as I can, as long as God permits me, and I decided that I will go into that area and develop my skill as a jazz musician. And it's a uphill task, especially coming from the Caribbean. But fortunately for me, I have been listening to jazz all my life. My home, even when I started as a youngster buying records, my jazz collection started from the age of 12. I had Jimmy Smith, Jack McDuff, Barney Kessel, Kenny Burrell, Wes Montgomery, Lalo Schifrin, all of the greats, you know, and I listened to that music all along. So it was an easy transformation for me. And then so I decided I will get into recording. I can remember when I was about 16 years, I did an album, Music for the Young, it was a tropical label. I think it was a subsidiary of RCA. And there was a German engineer in Trinidad at that time doing the engineering. And he found that I was talented, and he suggested to me, say, you know, you just not just a regular sideman. You should have your own music. You know, you should have, you know, be a featured artist. And you know what I would advise you, start looking to compose your own music, because you would certainly get producers and record labels interested in you, because you will have more to offer than just being able to play covers and so on. So I wrote a song called Mike Samba on that first album that I did with them, and that was in 1960 something. I did a recording. I composed a composition of a song called Diego Shuffle. Commuting from Diego Martin to Port Spain, the new highway. Sometimes I just come to my head while I'm driving, or waking up in the morning, or in the night after playing, or sometimes while I'm practicing scales and so on. Ideas develop. And this particular song was developed on the highway. Diego Shuffle, you know, within the traffic. The cars come going zoop, 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 and it would sound like a rhythm to me. And I was playing against the rhythm and singing, and I had my little Walkman, put it on, and I developed bump, 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 shoop, shoop, bump, bump, and the cars would keep passing like that. And Diego Martin actually in that period had a lot of house parties. Because every Friday you go down to Diego Martin, you just park your car in Diamond Vale and get out of the car, and you hear the song, the music come from somewhere, and you follow your ear, and you go and you crash the party, you know, you storm the party, as we call it in Trinidad, and you go inside and you join the party, and everybody, you know, being a popular person, people would, you know, recognize you and they're putting you out. So I did that song and a song called Saying It With Music. I always like the Caribbean because it's like home from home. So it's meeting other people from throughout the Caribbean. I just came from Barbados. I did a lot of festivals throughout the Caribbean. I was instrumental in starting this new festival. I started this time because the old festival that was put on by private entrepreneur, people crew. Actually, I started it last year where we played. I encouraged my friend Brady Clark, who's a businessman, who I usually stay at his home, and he's very gracious. He usually have me stay at his home, and he's always entertaining a group of friends. And I thought there was an opening night throughout in the festival that is a Thursday where there's a high price ticket event that I felt that there were quite a few people like myself who were in the island who could not afford $250 US to entrance to go to the particular show. So I said, you know, we could put on a little event, you know, like an after jazz, or doing, as a matter of fact, I started the after jazz events throughout the island, Caribbeans. So I said we could put on something, I could bring a little trio, because people always like to hear me play in Barbados. So I said I'd bring a few musicians, just about 2 or 3 musicians with me, and we could charge a little cover charge and have it, you know, and with a Grady, a very skillful thinker. You know, you just say one word and he could multiply it several times. He developed, he went across, we talked to the nuns, and he said that we'll give a charity to the Catholic schools in Patrick. And we did it, and it was a success. And we decided to do this year again. But this time, fortunately for us, that the other festival, the major festival, had some problems and having it this year, postponed it. So all the various sponsors who would have contributed to the previous festival had the budgets put aside for that festival, was able to help us with our little concerts. So we eventually extended it for 4 nights or 5 nights. And again, it was a great success because we brought a different flavor to the festival. My intrusion is based on Caribbeanness. I am a very, very strong Caribbean activist. And I feel that the Caribbean, and I'm glad the CSME, and I wish all the islands catch their act together and open up, because we have a brilliant part of the world, the Caribbean. All of us have our uniqueness and talents, and if we put our forces together, there's nothing can stop us. We are unstoppable, Caribbean. So I told my friends, and I would always say this, we don't necessarily have to have an American group to headline. We could headline ourselves, because we got Monty Alexander in Jamaica, we got Third World in Jamaica, we got things in Trinidad, we got, you know, groups all over the Caribbean, the French Caribbean, the Dutch Caribbean, the Spanish speaking Caribbean. Cuba, you know, Cuba is, I mean, come on. So my feeling is that we would do a Caribbean festival, and not really jazz, but jazz-oriented festival, and occasionally have a headliner from the United States or Europe or Africa or somewhere to add a little flavor, international flavor to it. And I feel that people will come from all over the world, because what we have in the Caribbean here is unique, you know. So I am planting these seeds all through the Caribbean, and I'm here this time doing a workshop with Seeds Music, and also trying to create an interest in getting the young musicians and the musicians on the island up to a certain standard that will be able to create recognition worldwide. First thing I would say in terms of my advice to musicians is to listen. Open your ears and listen. Listen to music. Listen to music in depth. Listen to every instrument, what it is that they do in the composition of a song. If you're a saxophone player, you not only listen to the saxophone, you listen to how guitarists contribute to the composition, what the keyboard player, the harmonies. And first thing is, stop fooling yourselves. You have a lot of work. I've been listening to musicians here, and there's a lot of work to be done. It's good that people appreciate you and feel that you're the best in the island, but the best in the island doesn't mean to say that you're the best out there. You know, it best come by developing your craft, hard work, practicing scales, listening, and you're fortunate these days that you have technology, YouTube. You even see me, my son laugh at me sometimes, because I will go up on YouTube and pull on blues guitarist or rock guitarist and learn a couple of licks off of the YouTube. All of that is there. They have courses there in reading, writing, developing of lots of musical skills, and it's up to you, the individual, to stop fooling yourself, put in hours, because the way I play is because I spend long hours, lots of hours every day. My guitar is like in my mind. You know, I could I could sing out a guitar solo. I could come and sit down here and hear you play and sing what I would play on my guitar. I could rehearse in my head and come and play. I could hear you play something for the first bar, and the second bar I would be playing it. And that comes from the development of scales and harmony. So please pick up the instrument. It's vital. And music is not a hobby. It can be a hobby. It's a profession. And it's how well you do it and how well you market yourself. Because marketing is another aspect of it that you have to also be aware of. Because one thing is to have talent, but you could have talent for your friends and your family at home. But you can't stay in a bedroom and create your marketability. You have to use my space and the network and go out and meet people, let people know who you are, play for people. Look, I came here and there's no money talking. I didn't talk any money yet. But I'm out here playing. Next time I come, I could call the show. I could say, well, yeah, I won 500 euros, 10,000 euros, however much money, because I would already played and people already knew who I am, what I can do, and how well I can do it. So these are little tips. I think is enough to get you started and to make you a good musician. There are several ways. You can teach music, you can write music, you can arrange, you can produce, you could do project management in terms of putting on events and performances. You could do song engineering, and these are all things that is music related, you know. So you don't necessarily have to play a guitar or a saxophone. Again, thank you very much for having me here in Grenada. It was a pleasure of a stay, and I look forward to coming back. Maybe I'll be back for Easter. Thank you very much. Again, it's a pleasure performing to you.